Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tousi TV. This is your global news channel. I'm Maya Tousi, and President Donald J. Trump has officially joined the revolution against the Islamic occupation in Iran. We have a major announcement by the president over the last few minutes. The Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi has also released another video statement, and of course his mother, the Empress of Iran, has also released a statement. We have some videos from Iran which we're going to show you. There's still internet shutdown. I do have a major announcement on a personal level. After days and days, I officially managed to get hold of my father in Tehran. He's still alive. Yay! So my dad is stuck in Tehran, in the capital. He's still alive, which is good news. Things are about to kick off extremely. We're going to go to the flight radar as well to show you guys the live map. But the Iranian people are still out on the streets. What is it, day 16, 17? I don't even know what's going on. And we're celebrating this huge victory so far. Of course, a lot of lives have been lost, but for one of the greatest cause of humanity. So, if you want to support the channel, you can join Tousi TV Plus and use the promo code Iran to get 50%, whoa, that was close, 50% of annual memberships. Just go to tousi.tv or find the link in the description. I almost said 55%. Don't get too excited. All right, let's talk about Iran. The Iranians continue to be out on the streets. They are happy that they are winning. They are basically fighting and celebrating at the same time. I know, they're very good at multitasking. Footage from Tehran, and then we'll come back to show you guys President Trump. Anyway, so while that's going on, President Trump has released a major statement, even more direct than I expected. First things first, it's probably best at this time to trust Tousi TV. Every single time we have to go through the same cycle. I say something, I report something before the mainstream media, people say that's fake news, and then something happens and I'm like, ignore this, trust me, ignore it, just wait. And people panic when President Trump says something at first. Well, we have this now. All right. This is the most robust statement from any US president to the Iranian people. Iranian patriots, keep protesting. Take over your institutions, so state buildings, government buildings. Save the names of the killers and abusers. They will pay a big price. I have cancelled all meetings with Iranian officials, as in the Islamic Republic, until the senseless killing of protesters stop. Help is on its way. MIGA, or Make Iran Great Again, President Donald J. Trump. So this goes back to what I literally said yesterday. So that sentence, we've cancelled all meetings, that's nonsense, obviously. But that goes to, in a good way, it goes back to what I said last night. The Iranian regime begged for negotiations over nuclear. Now, there are no discussions over nuclear. It's just nonsense anyway. That was just an excuse to save some time, to stall and basically buy time for themselves. The White House basically said, yeah, sure, we'll talk to them. And everybody panicked and said, calm down, just wait for it. Then last night, the White House said, yeah, we'll talk. We got a few conditions, red line conditions. Number one, basically surrender to the Iranian revolution, saying stop the killings and release all the political prisoners and basically allow the Iranians to win. That's not going to happen. And of course, give up your nuclear, enriched uranium, give up your ballistic missile. They put such hardline conditions that there were never going to be any meetings anyway. So I love how President Trump is saying, I cancelled the meetings. The meetings were never going to take place regardless. And now, of course, the Islamic Republic still have one card to play, which is complete desperation. They could come and say, it's a lie, but they can say, sure, we'll give up ballistic missiles, we'll give up enriched uranium. Yes, we'll promise to stop killing people. But then they don't know what to do because the Iranians will just continue to take over the government buildings anyway. The Iranian regime can't stop the killings. They can't. It's impossible for them because they'll lose. Well, they are losing regardless. So that's the initial statement. But then we also have now confirmation, Pentagon, and also the intel from State Department. There are a number of options on the table in terms of what sort of military action we are talking about here. The one thing we know is off the table, which is the biggest thing that's off the table. Good. A low impact symbolic airstrike. That is off the table because the United States will look weak. This is not really just a punishment attack. This is not really to prevent anything. This is to end the regime killing the people. So they can't do a kind of symbolic, like what they did in Syria with Daesh, the Islamic State. They can't do that, or when they did it with the Houthis in Yemen. That's off the table. The two main options on the table. One of them is high impact. One of them is kind of more medium, but they can help the Iranians on the ground. They could paralyze the IRGC top generals and leadership and the bases, all go, and also basically try to destroy the internal communication amongst the regime themselves. Now, the second one is more of a massive round of strikes on ballistic missile sites, on IRGC sites, on the government defense buildings, and eliminate the threat entirely, basically. Take out the whole leadership and go and find Ali Khamenei. So we know that the objective right now is to either eliminate Khamenei or capture Khamenei. So that is the official situation from the outside. But what will happen is still up in the air because we don't know what sort of action. The president has already decided, but we don't know. We haven't seen it because it's going to take some time. It might be in the next 2 hours, in the next 6 hours. It might be tomorrow morning. So we'll just have to wait. But I believe this is going to be something more imminent. Well, again, we can't really predict what the Americans are going to be doing. On the ground, the situation is escalating very quickly. And while the Iranians have taken control again of the cities and towns around the country in an absolutely crazy way, despite the fact that thousands and thousands have been killed. And we're going to talk about that because the top of the leadership team of Khamenei has now fallen apart. They are leaking information from the bunker and they are defecting, and we have the evidence. So, next video shows the absolute desperation from the regime. 262 gunfire in a few minutes. I think this was within 5 minutes. Crazy. This is war level gunfire. That's why we now had over 12,000 getting killed in the last few days, which is a huge number that you won't even get in regular wars and conflicts between nations. Civilians, obviously. Someone says someone should inform the BBC they are peddling fake news. The BBC is the propaganda arm of the Iranian regime, obviously. Angry PMC says, the Viking, so happy about your dad. We need to get him out. Yeah, we need an extraction plan for my dad in Tehran. DJ says, can't wait for the 75% discount. It is so close now. Miga, use the 50% discount and be happy with it. Anyway, the Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi is now calling on the Iranian hackers and cyber experts to target the regime's communication and information infrastructure. This is now the new phase, the final phase of the revolution. Let's go to the Crown Prince, English subtitles, and then we're going to talk about what's happening with Khamenei's inner circle. The top of the team in the bunker has fallen apart.
درود به همگی شما که به مانند کاوه در مقابل ضحاک ایستادید و می جنگید. رژیم سعی داره با سرکوب شدید و کشتار و قطع ارتباطات در شما ایجاد رعب و ترس بکنه و مایوس از ادامه این حرکت و مبارزه. اما این را بدانید که به خاطر همین فعالیت‌های شما و تلاش‌های شما هزاران نفر از نیروهای انتظامی و نظامی سر کار نرفتند تا درگیر نباشند در سرکوب شما. و یک پیام ویژه به متخصصین حوزه اینترنت و ارتباطات. زیرساخت‌های اطلاعاتی نظام را هدف بگیرید تا ارتباط همیهنانمون با جهان مجدداً برقرار شود.
Now that is the key point that is now happening on the ground. As I said, I managed to finally get a hold of my dad. So the phone lines, they come and go. I tried to call him again just before the live stream. to give him a heads up, but unfortunately it's disconnected again. But I did speak to him a couple of hours ago. He's alive, he is fine, and we'll find out what happens. Now, there is a massive reactions from the international community. Countries are jumping on a bandwagon, left, right, and center, apart from one country, that's the United Kingdom. It's doubling down on their support for the Islamic Republic. Australia are now saying that the current Islamic regime in Iran does not have legitimacy. Now, Australians have made a lot of mistakes over the last few decades, but they have also shown support at times, not necessarily Albanese himself, but previous prime ministers, including the brilliant Tony Abbott. But they realized that it's time. You can't really support the regime anymore. But the biggest nation that has been consistently supporting the Iranian people, apart from the state of Israel and apart from the Trump administration, has been Deutschland. The brilliant Germans, who've also been consistently supporting the Jewish nation, Israel. Friedrich Merz, which I still have problems with him on different policy areas, but Friedrich Merz has come out to say these are the final days of the regime. Let's go.
Wenn sich ein Regime nur noch mit Gewalt an der Macht halten kann, dann ist es faktisch am Ende. Ich gehe davon aus, dass wir jetzt hier auch gerade die letzten Tage und Wochen dieses Regimes sehen. Es hat ohnehin keine Legitimation durch Wahlen in der Bevölkerung. Die Bevölkerung steht jetzt auf gegen dieses Regime. Ich hoffe, dass es eine Möglichkeit gibt, diesen Konflikt friedlich zu beenden. Das muss das Mullah-Regime jetzt auch einsehen. Und wir stehen in engem Austausch mit der amerikanischen.
So, there's also the situation with the Americans. This is the live map, the flight radar. There's an American helicopter right here around Bahrain, and there is also, is that the American one? That is the US Navy that has now taken off from UAE. And of course, they're not going to use these that have the transponders on and the radars to actually attack. They will turn it off if they want to do something. That is the UAE Air Force, ignore that one. So we got obviously this one in the region right now, and the helicopter, and of course there will be a few others that are coming from Europe, which we will cover shortly. But so this is the current situation on the ground in terms of the live map, and nothing is happening, no aircrafts in the Iranian airspace as we speak. But the German foreign minister also doubled down, saying that this Islamic regime has obviously lost all legitimacy and no longer has the support of the Iranian people.
Wie in der Vergangenheit nicht nur gefangen genommen werden und schrecklicherweise gefoltert werden, sondern dass auch Schüsse fallen, dass es eine große Zahl von Toten gibt. Und es zeigt einmal mehr, dieses Regime hat offensichtlich keine Legitimität mehr, keine Unterstützung mehr im iranischen Volk. Wir fordern das Regime auf, diese Maßnahmen sofort zu unterlassen. Und ich kann für die Bundesregierung nur noch mal unterstreichen, dass wir alle Maßnahmen anwenden werden, um dieses Regime auch mit Sanktionen zu belegen. Dazu gehört auch eine Listung unter dem Terrorsanktionenregime der Europäischen Union, welches wir zum jetzigen Zeitpunkt noch nicht haben durchsetzen können, weil es Einstimmigkeit in der Europäischen Union voraussetzt. Aber wir setzen uns weiterhin dafür ein, und ich fordere alle europäischen Mitgliedstaaten auf, diese Frage noch einmal erneut zu betrachten und insbesondere vor dem Hintergrund der jetzigen Ereignisse zu prüfen, ob wir hier nicht doch zu einem gemeinsamen Ergebnis kommen können.
That's the German foreign minister. Meanwhile, the British state, the United Kingdom, is currently the only major country that continues to support the Islamic Republic of Iran. The only criticism coming right now from the foreign minister and also the Home Secretary is about the Islamic Republic government, not the regime, saying that it's a shame that they are violent against the protesters, they call it, the protesters against the government. But these are not protests against the Iranian government. This is an uprising revolution against the Islamic Republic regime and entity. But while the Germans and the Australians and the Americans and many others are coming out against the Islamic Republic, the British state is the only one left, and the French obviously as well. The French are quiet, they're just not saying anything because they were also behind the creation of the Islamic Republic. And they're not, and as well as the US Democrats. Of course, the US Democrats as a political party, as establishment, they were also behind the creation of the Islamic Republic with Jimmy Carter, so they are also extremely quiet. And now let's go to Tehran. The Great Tahrir Park, people out chanting Pahlavi is returning. Somebody says, Laura, I'm from the UK and believe me, we support Iranians. Shame on our government. No, so when people say the United Kingdom or the British state, it's not about the people, nothing to do with the British public. It's about the British state. It's not even about the British government, it's about the British state. So it's the same when we talk about the French, it's the French Republic, it's the Fifth Republic, the state, not the people. In every country, from Canada to Maldives and North Korea, there are some people who will be in favor of something, some people who will be against something, but their representatives, obviously they call the shots. So currently, over the last 100 years, the British state has been consistently against Iranians having their freedom. It's not really about the government, nothing to do with the British government. It's about the British state and the Foreign Office. Now, massive leak from the top of the leadership team of Ali Khamenei from the bunker. This is extremely chaotic right now. So they are now leaking sensitive information and documents from the Supreme Leader's office, which is now in a bunker. The National Security Council of Ali Khamenei and the Presidential Office confirmed that over 12,000 Iranians have been killed by the direct order coming from Ali Khamenei himself. He has signed the documents personally, and all three branches of the government knew and approved. So that includes Ali Khamenei's IRGC, the Pezeshkian's government, as well as the justice system. All three of them knew, and their documents obviously are a chain of command that goes back to the top of the leadership. They are clearly, there's been a huge number of defections and those who are refusing to follow orders. They realize that Ali Khamenei is on his way out, and they are trying their best to present themselves as the alternative, to try their best to keep an element of the Islamic Republic or the Republic, even if they have to remove the word Islamic, to pretend that Iran has changed, Iran has been reformed, but keep the same people in charge. Of course, that's not going to happen because the Iranian people know the names of every single person in charge, obviously, of the regime. 12,000 people is huge over the last few days, and these are war-level numbers that came from Ali Khamenei himself. Now, we have a voice note from Iran, from the streets, saying, we are fighting every night. Never give up, never surrender. Sky, we have English subtitles.
من بار آخری که میتونم زنگ بزنم که الان 350,000 پول چیز دادم، پول گوشی دادم که تو حرف بزنم. ببین ازت میخوام آرامش خودت حفظ کنی، کسایی که اونجا هستیم خیلی زور بزنید. اینا به قرآن مجید خیلی وحشیان. اینا نیرو ندارن، بستن رو مردم گلوله رو دارن وا میکنن. خب ازتون میخوام آرامش خودت حفظ کنی، قربونت برم، بلات بشم، حال خودتو خوب نگه دار. ما اینجا داریم مبارزه میکنیم. اگر ویدیویی از ما بیرون نمیاد به معنی که اینترنت قطعه، ما هر شب تو خیابونیم، هر شب داریم مبارزه میکنیم. غرب و شرق و جنوب و شمال هم نداره، همه جا شلوغه. تو زرادات مسجد آتیش زدن، تو حفظ پایگاه آتیش زدن، خیلی کارا داریم میکنیم، ولی نیاز به حمایت نظامی داریم. خب ازتون میخوام که با هر توانی که دارید، با هر زوری که دارید، برید یه جوری به این ترامپ بی‌ناموس بفرمایید اینا اگر حمله نکنن اینا
Yeah, if they don't attack, the regime will attack. So there is also a special message from the Empress of Iran, Farah Pahlavi, the wife of the former king. which we can now go to. But Carter says, what are the chances of capturing Khamenei alive? Well, based on the CIA and Mossad intelligence, they would know where he is. Obviously, he's in Tapas, in the eastern parts of Iran, in a desert, in one of the bunkers. So they just have to go and pick him up, I guess. The chances will be high if the people close to his inner circle help CIA. And that will definitely help, of course, because they can easily betray their own leader. And these guys would do it because they don't care. They don't want to be martyrs. They want to stay alive. The US must act now. That's literally what's happening now, before these death sentences begin tomorrow. So if the US attacks begin now or tonight or latest early tomorrow morning, then they can hopefully prevent it. If they go and target the prisons, including Evin prison, which is the main political prison, because the Islamic Republic's plan is to have public executions on the main streets of the capital. Obviously, if the Americans are attacking, they can't do the public executions, so there could be disruptions if the attack is carried out before the Wednesday, which of course we will find out. Ivan says, whatever the US plans, it will already be on the way. They already know what they're going to be doing. We'll just wait. Now, the Empress of Iran, Farah Pahlavi, the Crown Prince's mother, has just issued a special message to the armed forces of Iran saying, do not tie your fate to these killers. Let's go to the video message from her and see what she had to say.
هم میهنان عزیزم، رشادت، میهن دوستی و جانفشانی شما در این روزها احترام جهانیان را برانگیخته است و میلیون ها تن از کشورهای مختلف حمایت خود را از شما اعلام کرده‌اند. میدانم که تاریک اندیشان از هراس شنیدن صدای شما راه‌های ارتباطیتان با جهان بیرون را قطع کرده‌اند، اما بدانید که پیام شما بلندتر از آن است که با چنین اقداماتی خاموش شود. ایمان دارم که صحنه‌های حماسی اعتراضهای شما دیر یا زود از دیوار سانسور عبور خواهد کرد و ابعاد واقعی آنچه شما در این روزها انجام دادید بیش از پیش موجب حیرت و تحسین جهانیان خواهد شد. در این میان تصاویری که در ساعات پیش و در خاموشی ابزارهای ارتباطی از کشتار معترضان بیگناه در ایران به بیرون میرسد، دل من را به عنوان یک مادر به درد آورده است. هر کدام از فرزندان این مملکت که خونشان ریخته می شود برای من غم جانگاه از دست دادن فرزندانم را زنده می کند. برای مادران و پدران ایران شکیبایی آرزو می کنم و خود را در سوگ آنها شریک می دانم. همچنین به همه هممیهنان که عزیزان خود را در این قیام ملی از دست داده اند از صمیم قلب تسلیت می گویم و برای مجروحان و آسیب دیدگان این روزها سلامتی آرزو می کنم و در این بزنگاه تاریخ ایران بار دیگر روی سخنم با نیروهای مسلح ایران است. به یاد داشته باشید بقای هیچ حکومتی و حفظ هیچ منفعتی توجیهگر ریختن خون هممیهنانتان نیست. فریاد خشم و خروش معترضان را بشنوید تا دیر نشده به دیگر برادران و خواهران خود بپیوندید و سرنوشت خود را با سرنوشت قاتلان گره نبندید. ایران آزاد فردا به فرزندان شما هم تعلق دارد. با ریختن خون هم‌میهنان آینده خود و خانواده خود را تباه نکنید. بدانید که روایت این روزهای ایران ما در صفحات تاریخ برای همیشه ثبت خواهد شد و روسیایی برای آن کسانی خواهد ماند که گلوله هایشان سینه برادران و خواهران هم‌میهن را شکافت. و در پایان فرزندان من، امید خود را حفظ کنید، قوی باشید و باور داشته باشید که به زودی آزادی را در کنار هم در ایران جشن خواهید گرفت و نور بر تاریکی پیروز خواهد شد.
Now, absolutely brilliant woman, the Empress Farah Pahlavi. God bless her. She's 87 years old and she's about to have her dream come to reality, going back to her country, going back to her city, potentially, of course, and she's been waiting for a long time. She's still obviously a lot younger than Ali Khamenei, so that's great news. And of course, she's seeing her country being liberated again. We have a number of spammers. I'm just going to give you a heads up. We don't have moderators on this channel. Free speech, you can say whatever you want. But if you copy and paste the same thing like crazy people, you'll get banned. This person, Banaf something, keeps copy and pasting hashtag Javid Shah. If you do it again, you will get banned. I don't care what you say. Don't copy and paste. You send your message, people have seen it. Everyone else is also saying the same thing. So doesn't matter what you say. Even if you say nice things about me, but copy and paste, you will get banned. But we also have this weird message saying she's our queen. Perhaps you are not impressed by her either, Tousi. Please try not to speak on behalf of others, because Empress Farah is a brilliant woman who's been waiting for this moment for a long time. You don't know what you're talking about. Go away. Now, let's go back to the things that are happening. First things first. The Islamic Republic are already stealing the wealth of the nation. The IRGC have now already moved over $1 billion in cryptocurrencies using the United Kingdom, but two United Kingdoms registered platforms to do this, in order to bypass the international sanctions. So now these two UK bases and platforms, of course, have been extremely helpful to the IRGC, but $1 billion in the Iranian currency, rial, is huge. And that's basically a big chunk of the wealth that is now being stolen using these platforms. But of course, if you hunt these people down, wherever they are in the world, then you will be able to freeze their assets and return it back to Iran and the Iranians. So that is one of the major things that is still happening. Now, the Iranians are still very, very energetic. However, they're still out. They're not giving up. Watch this. Crazy stuff. Absolutely crazy stuff. So let's have a look at flight radar. Is that Air Force one? Is still there? The Navy one. That's the Hercules. Yeah. That. Why is it stuck in the middle of like? Oh, it's turning. Why is it turning? We don't know where it's going. We'll keep an eye on him. See what they're doing. They're still maneuvering around the Middle East, checking things, monitoring things. But while that is happening, let's also just get the overview of the map in general. There's still more information coming out. says, I'm glad to hear your daddy's okay. Liberate Iran. Love from Israel. Much love to you. Love Tousi TV. And F. Keir Starmer. It's not even about Keir Starmer at this point because it's not really about the British government. It's about the Foreign Office. But yes, generally speaking, F. Keir Starmer. Khomeini, well, he's dead. And Soleimani's tomb still... Oh, Khomeini and Soleimani's tomb is still intact. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Khomeini's tomb is a huge shrine. It's a massive gold palace. And that's the final thing. The Americans need to hit that immediately. The US military is a big building. Hit it. Boom. Go boom boom. People... Also, I wouldn't be surprised if they are storing certain things underneath. You never know. Happy Guy, thank you for your big super chat saying thank you to Tousi TV. Well, Tousi, not Tousi TV. How do I connect to protests in LA? US Democrats have the Trump... well, actually, wait, no. So the protests, you're talking about the Iranian protests, right? I have absolutely no idea. That's a very good question because I was actually trying to get hold of someone in California about that. But, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, you're right that the US Democrats are suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. I don't know what's going on. If anybody is watching from California, help us out. Margareta says, Dear Maya, greetings from Malta. Today, Tousi TV Plus was the talk of the day at my office. I was Tousi TV Plus's, what brings not just the news, but the truth. Amazing. And Ron as well, thank you. Sweden. The mother of all Ayatollah bomb. That's not bad. Ayatollah. Drill, baby, drill. Saudi Arabia on a visit, take over oil in Venezuela. I would say Trump is going bombing some oil rigs. Trump is just literally at this point playing the game of, you know, the board game Risk, for those who know. Or like some sort of video game, just going around stealing oil from Russia and China. They are literally losing all of their resources from Venezuela to Iran, everywhere else. But it's sad times for the Russians and the Chinese. I worry that the UK buying mass casualty tents could be preemptive move, knowing if allies help and the IRGC sleepers and Islamic organizations might react in UK mass casualty events. God bless the Iranians. So not the Sunnis. The majority of the Islamists in the UK are Sunnis. And Sunnis are very happy that the Islamic Republic is going to fall apart. They don't like them, obviously. So a lot of these guys, but you still have some useful idiots who are still Muslim, but they're not Shia, but they still support the IRGC. We can only hope that they don't blow up left, right, and center. But that's the same problem everywhere, including Australia, including Germany and the United States. But you don't really see this level of cowardice from the German government or the Australians, even Australians, and the Americans. Lion and Sun flying from the embassy in DC. Yes, that embassy is going to reopen very soon. Of course, since 1979, the embassy in DC was closed, and of course, the embassy in Tehran was closed as well. Discussed it with the UK government, Viva la Revolution. Yeah, it's not really the UK government, it's the UK state, it's the British state, but yep. Thank you so much for this. And Jackie says, loving the pic of Khomeini crying. Yeah, for the record, it's Khamenei. Khomeini died in 1989. 89? Yeah, that was the first one. They have similar names for some reason. They're the only people literally in the whole country that have those two names because they have their ancestors. They're not from Iran. They are Arabs, and the other one's from, what is it, Afghanistan, something like that. I don't know, can't remember. Praying for a free Iran and happy to see the relief on your face after telling us your father is safe. Soon you can reunite, God willing. Yes, can only hope. Kevin says Trump should liberate Kharj Island, Iran's primary oil exports terminal in the Persian Gulf, handing over 90% of the crude exports. That would defund the IRGC and fund the new Shah transition. So you don't need to do that because all you have to do is just take out the leadership in mainland Iran, and then they'll lose control of all the oil sites. So if you go and take an oil site, that doesn't do anything really. You need to take out the leadership because they are the ones connected to it. The people who are working on the oil rigs, they're all on strike anyway because they don't want to do anything. So not much is happening right now. DJ says, those of you who are saying F Trump, you can shut the F up because he and perhaps Israel are the only hope to stop this massacre. Javid Shah, hope the prisoners are saved. Yeah, let's hope. Thank you, Tousi. You're amazing. All eyes on Iran. No one leave it until they will be fully free. Javid Shah. Thank you so much, Amir. And Iranians aren't going to forget this genocide. No way in hell they will let any members of the old guard stay in power. Absolutely spot on. They're not going to even let them stay alive. If you let the Iranians, they will just tear them apart. The only way that the Iranian regime leadership could stay safe and alive is, in fact, if the Americans come in. Because at least they could just be arrested and face justice. If you just leave them to the Iranians on the streets, they're not going to let any of them to survive. Thank you. And Marcus says 12,000 people murdered by Khamenei's henchmen in a weekend. That's 6 times the number killed by the Shah's forces before he abdicated and left the country. Yeah, and of course the Shah, the last king, the people that got killed on the streets, they were the paramilitary terrorists, communists and Islamists with guns. The security forces of Iran in 1978-79 had no other option but to obviously shoot the terrorists on the ground. They were not innocent protesters, obviously. You can protest whatever you want. Iran was free. But when you have communists linked to the Soviet Union and, of course, the Islamists linked to France and the UK and Jimmy Carter, then yeah, if they're shooting at the police will have to shoot them back. US Apache helicopters in the air in Germany right now. Let's have a look at Germany. Let's fly to Germany. There's a few things over here. Oh my God. Okay, there's too many. Which one? I can't. These are all Germans. If there was a way, actually, I might be able to check with the acronyms, right? Perhaps. What's that one? That's Swiss. Ignore the Swiss. U.S. Air Force. Well, that's not a helicopter, but yeah, that's the Hercules one. That's U.S. in Germany, and that's U.S. Air Force. That's the same one. I'm crazy. Yeah, that is a Black Hawk. There's a few tiny ones over Deutschland. That is the UK Air Force. Ignore that. That's going back to the United Kingdom. But the main ones down here, obviously, is still operating. Is this US Navy Hercules aircraft and the other one. What's that one? That's nothing. Ignore that one. But yeah, so that is the current situation on the ground as we speak. And sorry, but what's the situation in Rasht in the north? It's just massive uprising, still the same. And we're getting limited videos, obviously, from many parts of the country, but we'll keep you guys posted. Black Americans stand with the Iranian people. Thank you. Barbara says, Maya, your friend Goldie is being demonetized by YouTube. We need to support her. What did she do to get demonetized? I'll get in touch with YouTube and trying to help her out. Don't worry, guys. The Empress sounds both very dignified and like she also knows the perfect recipe for stuff that you haven't even dreamed of with lamb and rice. I'm not really sure. Does the Queen of Iran know the good recipes? Perhaps. Has she been cooking? Maybe the last few years, yeah, since exile. Broken Arrow, Oklahoma shut down the mosque proposal last night. Hundreds showed up, and some congressmen as well. That's good news. Yay! Good news from Oklahoma. Khamenei will end. Like Haman, he also wanted to terminate the Jews. In the end, was hanged by the Persian king. Was that Cyrus? Click on name, click on block, problem solved. That's what I've been doing on the map. You're literally clicking on individually. If it was an easier way to search by country, that would be much easier, but it's not. You got this, hold it together and breathe. That's a good advice. I am seeing a tweet from Israel Army Views announcing war and saying the fighter jets are on fly. It will be the last night. I did hear something about the Israeli jets taking off. I'm not really sure. Is that it? That's the UK Air Force. Ignore the UK ones. I haven't seen the... What are these? These are the UK... Why the UK ones are coming down? We have a lot of UK Air Force, aircrafts, all coming at the same time. Perhaps President Trump told them, you got to move. There's a... Oh, ignore these guys. That's a ground vehicle. I don't see any Israeli. What's that one? That's Slovakia. They're probably lost. That's Germans going back. I don't see the Israeli, unless they've turned off their transponders now. I'm not really sure. I don't think there's going to be an attack now. That would be crazy if they do it now. That would mean that they've literally listened to my request. Because I did say last night, please don't attack in the middle of the night. I need my nap. Do it like in the afternoon. That would be lovely. That would be great. So if they do it, I would send a massive thank you card to President Trump. UK government in SE Living media snob buds are like, don't look at Iran, we are banning X. Yeah, that's the priority for the British government, banning social media. Free Iran, glad your dad's okay, shame on the UK government. Yeah, as I said, it's not the UK government, it's the British state, but yep. X is banned, Trump will sanction Starmer. That's going to be the next war. The diplomatic wars between the UK and the US. That's going to be the next series on Tousi TV that we will be covering after this revolution. Trump is 47, and this is also the 47th year of the IRGC. If that doesn't spell liberation, and nothing does. Another coincidence. I think that's just a coincidence, but it's a good coincidence. Tousi, I joined last week to show support for you and your hair. We are so proud of you, and thank God your father is okay. Well, thank you so much for the support. The rest of you, you can take note and join Tousi TV Plus. Scan the QR code right here underneath my big chin. Actually, it's not even that big. Normal size chin. And if you want to get a discount, you can get 50% discount if you use the promo code Iran. Just visit tousi.tv or just find the direct link in the description. It takes you straight to the annual membership form, and enter the code Iran at the bottom of the page, coupon code. 50% off. Do it now. Enjoy it. You get full access to our platform and the Tousi TV app. And if you want to watch things on your smart TV, go on the app and you can cast it. Don't join on the app. Join on the website. I have to say this all the time, to use the discount. And then you can use the login details, your email address and your password on the app. Then you can watch everything on the app. It's much easier. The last thing you want to do is use the browser on your phone. That is a terrible thing to do for any website. Genuinely. If you can use a website, use it on your laptop. That's the best way. But otherwise, the app on the phone. People use their web browser on the phone. It gives me craziness. Like literally, any website, like Amazon. Don't go on Amazon on your web browser on your phones. Just use the app. It's terrible layout. This is the problem with web browsers on phones. We can't have peace talks with an evil regime that mass executes its people and expects them to comply. Tousi TV, my #1 source for Iranian news online. Has Tousi TV basically become officially Iranian news instead of global news? It's not my fault. The last few days have just been crazy stuff from Iran. Today might not be the best day for jokes, but I tried all week and I didn't go through. Don't burn burqas. Send to Palestine. 30 plus Palestinians. Yeah, they don't have burqas in Iran. The Iranians are, the Iranian regime, the Islamic Republic, are Shia. They're not Sunni. So they don't really do burqas. That's a Sunni thing. All right, toilet ordered they mess personally. Mass murder and mess, same thing. God bless Trump. Miguel says, reporting from Los Angeles and San Diego, I have been participating in several pro-Iranian rallies. We are in their face, taking care of business. We disavow and any violence, preach the peace. Yes, call Armin, let him know his efforts are worthy. Armin, if you're watching, we love you. And Goldie. I will get in touch with YouTube to try to sort out your channel, by the way, the demonetization. I'll see what I can do with our contacts at YouTube and Google. I look forward to the day I can get an Iranian stamp on my passport soon. Bless you, your father, and the brave Iranian people. Yeah, it's probably best to wait until the moment the stamps change into the imperial stamp. You want the imperial stamp. The imperial Iran is back. Bring the empire strikes back. Just think about it. The whole world is once again sitting and waiting for the orange man to decide. It's amazing. He's literally leading the world. I have to be careful. Please understand, we are also in Orange County. Oh yeah, everyone. Well, at least you're in a nice area. Well, depending on which part. If you're by the beach, that's good. Oh, you did say beach, actually, yeah. Huntington, right? Huntington Beach. C-135's planes when see that something is happening. Yeah, do we have them? What's this one again? That was the UK one, right? That's the UK Air Force. That's the UK Air Force. That's the UK Air Force. They're all together. Ignore the Slovakia guys. And then you got the Hercules one. Saudi Arabia helicopter, go away. And why are all these guys on the air? Go away, get down. Well, just land. You're just distracting us. UAE Air Force. Nothing from Israel on the radar, officially speaking. So, but we don't know where they are. We did hear that they took off early. I'm not really sure where they were going. In the States, I woke up to the headlines that Trump cancelled meetings about Iran today and said help is on the way. God bless him. Yeah, but that was just the Trump language. There were no meetings anyway. Cancelled imaginary meetings. What happened to Nasrallah's little piglets in Iran? Still there. Hallelujah for your dad, Maya. Best hair on the air. That is very true. The most humble hair. If memory serves, it was Xerxes. Oh, was it Xerxes? One of my favorites. I wanted to name our first son Xerxes, but the wife said no. Who hanged Haman, but that also required a Jewish minx to sleep with the king. So plan B maybe. Was that the original Mossad agent? Was she the first Mossad agent? Trump is a PDF. What? Prove me wrong. Release the Epstein file. Get psychiatric help. I'm not your therapist. Bloody hell. Also, leave your mum's basement. Starmer is the one that should be banned, period. Just in general. My confirmation on 12,000 Iranian martyrs dead within the last 48 hours. State propaganda. No, we already confirmed that. That leak came from the Khamenei's office. They are leaking their own information. He signed the document himself. Praying for a free Iran from Iowa, USA. I've been playing... what? Oh, the music. I thought it was a video game. Brain doesn't work. YouTube is deliberately hiding you from my notifications list and history. No, we're still the engagement is high, impressions are high, we're getting huge views, we're getting more views than the mainstream media. We currently have about 45,000 watching live. Make sure you click on notification bell and then click on all, because it's automatically customized. But there's also still a limit, because if you get 3 notifications within 24 hours, it doesn't send you the 4th one. It's just YouTube's way of trying not to overwhelm people. I always ask them to find a way to override that, but they don't want to send every notification to everyone all the time for all the channels. Tousi, your reporting is amazing. We need you. Thank you. Need me how? Is Greta the justice warrior sending a flotilla to Bandar Abbas? That she will do it when Iran is free. The left are going to protest against the free democratic Iran. What is your opinion on Ukraine and Russia? What's it got to do with Iran? Well, they're still struggling, both sides. Russia was supposed to take Kiev within, initially 3 days and 3 weeks. Don't give yourself high expectations. It's not going to work. It was always going to be obvious that NATO was going to send support to Ukraine. What were you thinking? The USA is about to drop 900 pounds of freedom on Iran. Amazing. Republic of Turkland. Really? Okay. And Pete says, these stupid 75%ers are getting a bit boring. Yes, they want to keep saying, where is the 75% discount? Oh, hello, we got a communist. I know the face and the name. That is a communist face and name. Look at that. You should really be ashamed of yourself for wanting Americans to attack Iran. You are absolutely clueless for is coming to the region, for the region. That is not English, which makes me think you're an Israeli supporter. You think I'm an Israeli supporter? Oh no, I got exposed. And I'm an American supporter. And I'm an Iranian supporter. I believe in freedom and nationalism for all nations. Freedom, life, liberty. Go defend your countries against these commie bees. What are you talking about? Firstly, learn how to speak English. What are you saying? You're absolutely clueless for is coming for the region. America, President Trump personally, has every right, because it's called self-defense. Do you know why? Because Ali Khamenei ordered the assassination of Trump. He put a fatwa on his head. He sent out the IRGC to kill him. If somebody comes to kill you, you know what you do? You take them out. So that's a personal vendetta between Trump and Khamenei. The Americans have an interest in the Middle East. It will also help them if Iran is free. Correct the mistakes of Jimmy Carter. The people that you're supporting in the Islamic Republic were literally installed by France, Jimmy Carter, US Democrats, and CIA, and an element of MI6. How did that go? That was a terrible experiment. Didn't go well, did it? Now, Russia and China stole all the gas and the oil and everything else. It's probably time for Iran to join the free world, to join the Western world order, to join the Team America and the American empire, because that is where the game is. If you have a choice between being on the CCP side in China and the American empire, always choose American freedom, democracy, and capitalism. It's not that stupid. And yes, Am Israel Chai, God bless Israel, God bless all nations that believe in sovereignty and democracy. Oh my God. Craziness everywhere. Yeah, it is the guys who say, yeah, I think you want America and the others to be in Iran. Like, yeah, we have to work with everybody. Everybody trade, free trade rules, as long as it's on a fair level playing field, not like China. It's good. Trade is good, as long as you don't sacrifice your own industries. I heard someone telling today that Shah in 1979 had a chance to use the army force on the rebels, and he did not. What do you say about that? Yeah, but he literally left the country because he didn't want to kill his own people. So he said, let's just stop this. And then he left. And then, of course, Khamenei came and destroyed everything. So, oops. And what's this? Great. Let them join the American way. Just don't make us... in your boys and girls to Iran to die for their freedom. Why would they have to do that? Americans don't need to put boots on the ground. And Americans do not put boots on the ground. Terrible idea. You guys have experienced people in your US Navy and Air Force and the Marines. Let them do the job. You don't need the troops on the ground. Unless you're going to go pick Khamenei up, that's okay. I give you permission. The Iranians don't want you to put boots on the ground anyway, so they just go and take out the terrorists and the dictator who wants to take out your president. It's called self-defense, and then leave it to the Iranians. This is really the liberty or death. Join or die moment. Wish the Iranians the best from Utah. Thank you very much, Utah. And I'm not translating that. Daniel says, I need to send you a larger flag. Yes, because size matters. You know that, Daniel. Thank you, Edwin. My father immigrated from Iran. I have never visited Iran, and my children haven't either. I can't wait to take them to see where their grandfather is from. Freedom for the Persians and the rest of the Iranians as well. US bunker buster bombs for our toilets like last year. That might be the only way left. Yes, probably. Thank God your pop is okay to Maya. Thank you so much. Jennifer says it wasn't leaked. It was purposefully let out as a scare tactic from the regime. No, that's incorrect. Gratefully and fortunately has not worked. Regime is... No, because we know it was leaked. Because we know it was by the defectors. It's then we got the signed documents. Anyway, that's still going on. And we will be monitoring... Is that the... Which one is this one flying away? That's the US Air Force. Where is this one going? UK, not US. The UK Air Force. We got a lot of UK aircraft right now flying towards the Middle East. This is probably just for precaution and support for the US military bases. The UK is not going to get involved directly because that will be a big surprise. That will be huge. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. We're going to come back with more updates. Join Tousi TV Plus now. Use the promo code Iran to get 50% off annual memberships and visit Tousi.tv. Thank you so much. I'm Maya Tousi and we are the media.